Just say what you have for breakfast.
Cereal and toast and cup of tea for breakfast.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just having a conversation.
Just having a conversation, exactly like we're doing now. Action.
I remember it was in 1983 when I first read about this strange new disease called GRID, gay-related immune deficiency, beginning to affect gay men in America. And it began a slow burn of fear. Was it caused by sniffing poppers? Would it ever come to Manchester? I was working in a grotty basement at the Gay Centre, 61A Bloom Street, frantically writing articles for a local community newspaper, trying to inform people what little information we knew. In 1984, I organised a meeting above the Thompson's Arms. A guy from the Terence Higgins Trust came and made the most powerful speech. He said AIDS would change our community forever. He was right. I remember in 1985, we started Manchester AIDS Line. At first, the calls were from the worried well, but slowly the virus crept into our conversations and our lives. We were young, full of energy, full of hope. We kept dancing and loving and arguing and lobbying. We kept supporting friends and lovers who were dying of AIDS. But despite it all, we were determined to live. I remember my friend's favourite bar, crowding into its narrow seats every Saturday before going dancing at the Archway. He was forcibly detained at Monsell Hospital when he told them he was HIV positive, the only time it happened here. He was scared, confused, shocked. We all were. We picketed the town hall and he was released, but the power to detain us all was clearly there. I remember my best friend Glyn, outrageously camp, covered with diamante. He absolutely adored Manchester pride. I was with him when he died. His brothers couldn't bear to see him. Brian and I, his closest friends, became his chosen family, as often happened then. He had a white horse-drawn coffin at his funeral and a live string quartet playing Mozart, the height of elegant camp. I did his eulogy. I do a great eulogy, witty, compassionate, moving. I've done too many. I remember the fear, paranoia and panic at the height of the AIDS epidemic. Rumours that gay men would be sent to the Isle of Man, the ultimate punishment. I remember a gay man being thrown out of an ambulance because he had AIDS. I remember the health service quarantining the ambulance afterwards. I remember James Anderton, the Chief Constable of Greater Manchester, taking phone calls from God, telling him to raid our gay bars and saunas. I remember him saying gay men were swirling in a cesspit of our own making. I remember picketing an evangelical rally he was speaking at. We were pelted with Bibles. I remember the anger and the rage that still drives me today. But most of all, I remember 2009, the year I broke through my own silence, the year I broke through my own secrecy. No longer an angry young activist, but now a counsellor in the city I called home. I remember stepping onto the stage at Manchester Pride. I remember the lump in my throat. I remember the words tumbling out, I am living with HIV. I remember. how could I possibly ever forget?